I think the best way to summarise my school years would be to describe a teacher that took a special interest in me while I was in kindergarten. And I think it would be fair to say a perverse interest. Basically, I was often taken out of my classroom by this teacher and put into his, and he would frequently shout in my face until I was crying. He would record this and play it back for the amusement of his class. This is by no means the most abusive teacher I've encountered. Throughout every year I've spent in mainstream schooling, I've encountered at least one teacher that basically would abuse me for the thinnest of reasons. That's why I find it so perplexing when specialists in autism talk about being teased or whatever by other students. That would be the least of my problems had it occurred. I mean, just look at me, you can tell I didn't take a lot of crap from people I didn't have to. But I still lie awake at night, often wondering exactly how a teacher, a person in a position of authority, can just be given carte blanche to cause a child, particularly a child with an undiagnosed developmental disorder, so much stress and pain, and get away with it. I could probably say this to quite a number of teachers, but believe me, there's two especially from my early years of schooling. If I ever meet them again, there won't be words in English to describe the mess I make of them. I basically stopped turning up to school around the time I was 12, 13 years old. I would do everything in my power to avoid school because I was just generally sick of being treated like I had no basic human rights. For a period spanning from about the time I was 9 or 10 years old to the time I was about 15, there was a little break in there somewhere. Actually, there was a long time, even beyond that, where whether it be at the insistence of school or whomever, I was constantly dragged back and forth to child psychologists, various doctors of that influence, and I'm thinking months, maybe even years worth of FaceTime with these morons, and the fact that I've only got a proper factual diagnosis 2 years ago in spite of all that wasted time just infuriates me to this day. some of the things they did in that time, I'm still I have nightmares about them. That's when I do sleep. I often can't sleep because of it. The joke of it is that now that there is a factual diagnosis and such, they expect me to pay to have what they so consciously and so constantly screwed up fixed. They just basically stole years of my life away from me and expect to pay to have something done about it. And of course, when I go to people and say I want to sue these people to make them pay for their mistakes, there's just nothing but a constant roadblock put up in front of me. Everyone can find 1,000 excuses as to why these people shouldn't be brought to justice and such. It's this is to say nothing, of course, of the strain upon relationships of every stripe. Just talking to any human being in person carries the expectation of imminent abuse.